And welcome back to another video. Now, the previous video chapter of this was Steamy. Chapter 18 was Steamy. So it's specifically a Patreon only video. So if you wanted to see that, I apologize. But we do have a video that is the chapter after, which is chapter 19. All you had to know in chapter 18 is that Jack and Abel had adult fun time while Jack was in his heat as an Omega, and Abel and the bonded and stuff. So there was a tits ooh and so yes, they made the love and possibly made love babies. Anyways, so that is that. Now on to the disclaimers. But first, all art credit goes to Gav Ip for this. She is the one that has given me permission to do this art. And also, I forgot to mention in the last one, but it's a Patreon only, so it's okay, that this series is done by Gav Ip and Wicked Brody, and that they have all credit to this series because they are the one who made this series on Archive of Our Own. But anyways, let's get on to the disclaimers. Disclaimer. Jack or Jackie Bright, when he is gender bent, is not attached to Admin Bright anymore. Admin Bright does not have credit to them anymore. Jack Bright and Jackie Bright are no longer his self-insert. They are their own standalone characters because more people have added to them, and we do not support Admin Bright in the least. He is a pile of dog horse poo-poo, and we do not support him. Now, disclaimer number 2. This is an AU where it's Alpha, Beta, Omega, and that Jack's the Omega, and that Abel's the Alpha, and that they have more or less mated and such, and that it's an AU where they are obviously together, but they are not together in canon, and all that stuff. This could be possible universe and the multiverse of the SCP universe, since it's basically a multiverse with endless possibilities. So this could happen somewhere in the multiverse, but it's not in the main canon. Thank you. And also, disclaimer number 3, Abel and Jack are not yandere for each other. This is just for fun and not to be taken seriously at all. Simping for fictional characters and fictional yanderes is fine, just do not be illegal or gross about it. And remember to separate fiction from reality and headcanon from canon. Thank you, and now let's get on to business with Chapter 19. Let's do this. Oh no, he didn't. Oh, but Clef, he did. Jack did the dirty deed. Dr. Altaclef stood up quickly and startled the other researchers in the rooms. They hardly ever saw this enraged, which is concerned that it's Dr. Clef. Dr. Clef, Dr. Gears said, trying to keep it cool. If you're planning to take down SCP 076-2, aka Abel, by yourself, I suggest you leave it to MTF to. You shut the frick up, Gears! Clef yelled and grabbed his shotgun. You don't know a dang thing. This is serious. What's the big deal? Dr. Iceberg stood up, holding a Michelle, get it together. A Molotov in his hand. You know the things where, I can't say it to save my life, where you put a rag and you put it in a alcohol bottle, and when you light the rag, it burns down and then explodes the bottle. That's what it is. I can't say it to save my life, though. No, I'm doing this alone. You don't interfere, Clef says. And with that said, Clef ran out of the office, ignoring the calls of his teammates, pushing any researcher or guard out of his way. He needs to arrive as fast as possible. Jack is in heat. That's what Dr. T.J. Bright told him that morning. SCP-076-2 is inside Site 19. The alarms rang, and the site ordered a full lockdown of the facility. It was ordinary protocol, as Clef and the others would go to an emergency room and tried to give countless others as they deployed I can't say that, 11, which is Nine-Tailed Fox team, to solve the problem and retrain the control once again. Sorry, my tongue is not behaving. It wants to do flippity flips and floppity flops. Anyways, let's continue. And trying to take down 076-2, but it isn't enough, as they knew they needed heavy weapons on him. Even if they usually trust that word, 11, Team 11 will call them, for such difficult tasks. But as he was thinking about it, suddenly about Jack, about him being heat, then the idea of 076 in the same facility as him clicked it clicked on his mind, the worst case scenario, and it is clear that Agent Ukulele, aka Alto Clef, our best boy, is out of retirement. Where are you, 076? Cleft with rage, hardly ever yelled with rage he ever felt before. Many people on his way go out because they were afraid of ended up with a bully as at close range. For those who do not know, Clef's gun is a very unique gun. This is a side note, but if he shoots his gun off, it will give you instant cancerous tumors all over your body from the bullet wound. So it is not something you want to get hit with at all. Anyways, let's continue. Using his sense of smell, he tries to find a trace of his pack brother, or 076. It wasn't hard. The smell of blood was easy to track down, running down the halls. Clef saw the bodies of several guards and other MTFs on the floor and against the walls. He was on the right path, and then his face pales when he senses something else. Jack's heat scent. Even more shocking, the smell of the alpha he's looking for and his brothers merging. They were doing the woohoo. Blood boiled in his veins. That frickin' B word, not the bitch, the unwanted, unwed child born out of wedlock. Thinking he could claim Jack on his most vulnerable state and get over with it, finally, as what it felt like an eternity, Clef found Bright's office, the door torn open. Abel, you gotta be more polite. You can't just tear a door off the hinges. For real, for real. The door torn open. He runs inside and directly to the resting room. There they were. Jack already fainted and on his improvised nest. SCP-2076. Oh, sorry, my tongue. SCP-076-2 still inside him, and it was about to bite Bright's gland scent on his neck with intentions of bonding with him. Oh my god, I am torn. Part of me wants them to bond, but also another part wants me to protect baby Bright. Oh my god, I am torn. The drama. Alto Clef saw red at the sight. It put the cannon of his pew-pew directly against Abel's head, who was too distracted to notice Clef's presence. Unalive. I'm just going to say, die, mother trucker. Clef mutters dangerously low. When Abel heard it, he turned his head sharply to see who came in the room. A blast destroyed his head. Once the entity falls to the floor, with pieces of head and brains splatter all around the room. Clef runs towards Bright and grabs his face. The scent gland was still intact, but it was close call. A very close call. Two of a close call. Jack, he called, but there was no response. Bright was absolutely out. Clef looked around and gagged in disgust at seeing that his body was covered in bodily fluids, his belly swollen from you know what, and that B word, the unwanted child thing, had just crossed a line. Dr. Clef, one of the members of the Team 11, entered the room, eyes open wide at the scene they see. It's really hard to believe. It was for the obvious smell of the air that confirms what their eyes are refusing to believe. The lifeless body of 062 holds Bright's scent on him, and Bright holds 06-2 scent. It was clear that what happened here. Doctor, one of the guards asked with hesitation, help me take Dr. Bright to the medical wing and get rid of 076-2's body. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this. If you would like to see more, comment below what you would like to see, and I will do my best to do it. If you want to read the story, you have to search it up. I can't link it or to you at all. I apologize. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed. And Patreon outro. Patreon outro. Thank you, Gav, for being my first patron. You're wonderful, beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. Ugh. Thank you, Gav. And that is it. I hope that you all enjoyed and stay sexy on my sexy muffins. Secret outro time, secret outro time, secret outro time, secret outro baseball bat. Secret outro. If you were in this situation and you found your best friend, your buddy, your pal, your amigo with an SCP sent on them in an Alpha Beta Omega verse, would you have pew pew their head for crossing a line, or would you be like, good girl, get it? I would be the first. I would be torn. It would depend on the person. It would depend on the person. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed. And stay sexy on my sexy muffins. Bye bye. And there we